Hello everyone, I'm the Peculiar Pisces and welcome to my channel. Today is going to be a dyeing video and this is the other side of the room that you don't normally see. This is my kitchen. So today is December 18th, 2024. It is Wednesday. I have on my apron so I don't get my clothes messed up. I have some rubber gloves to wear so that I don't get dye all over my hands because I'm super messy. And right over here, which as soon as I get my gloves on, I will sort of adjust the monitor and try to spin my computer just a little bit so that you can see what I have going on over here. Okay, so let me turn. How well can you see that? Let me see if I can adjust my plants and close this blind just a little bit better. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, so let me turn on the overhead light and see if that will help illuminate things. Okay, I don't know if that helped or not. So, today I'm going to be dyeing this giant piece of fabric. Let me just go ahead and shift that up for now. I'm going to be dyeing this giant piece of fabric. It is 14 count Aida, and I'm pretty sure that this is a full yard. Now, I don't know if I need this entire piece for the sampler, but it's 14 count and the sampler is pretty huge as it is. So I'm just going to dye the whole thing. And if there's fabric left over after I'm done, I will very carefully cut off the excess fabric and then I'll have even more. So I have already boiled some water and measured out 1 cup of water for each of the 3 colors that I'm going to be creating. And the first thing that I need to do is rinse off the sizing from this fabric, which is what makes it really stiff. So let me just adjust that down some. Okay, I think you'll be able to see everything from there. So I'm just soaking the entire piece of fabric, getting the whole thing wet, and I will even, scrub a little bit in areas to make sure that all the size, I can smell the sizing coming off. I don't know if other people can smell it. It sort of reminds me of that elderly lady perfume from the 80s. Like one of those Avon or Mary Joy perfumes. Like I can just smell it coming off. Okay, so this is probably pretty good. Now I do want this piece to be kind of mottled, but I also want there to sort of like be swirls and stuff. So the way that I do that is in my scrunching up of the fabric. I'm going to be dyeing it in one of these Pyrex dishes. So as I'm just sort of putting it in, I'll want to sort of spin it a little bit. So there will be some swirls there. Maybe some more swirls this way. But I also kind of want it to be just random. I'm going with a lot of browns. I have taupe, camel, sunshine orange, dark brown, tangerine, and then I have the powder of the cocoa brown. Now, Let me pull up on my phone these colors so that I can remind myself of the visual. And this will take me a while. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is soft beige. Now, I did say I have my rubber gloves. And my favorite brand of paper towel is the Viva paper towels that are almost thick like a fabric. So I cut off little strips of paper towel so that as I'm mixing up the colors, I can sort of do like a dunk test. And so I have ones for each of the colors. So while I'm mixing, I'm going to move this off to the side. And soft beige, I need taupe and sunshine orange. Now, I did some math, and it's not perfect math, but what I wanted to do was essentially, when you're getting the formulas off of Rit's website, they like show you for 3 gallons of water, and I'm not using 3 gallons of water. I'm using a cup. And so I try to do a little bit of math and break it down to the smallest measurement that they give you. In this case, 1/4 teaspoons was the smallest measurement that they gave us. Hang on a second. The dog is insisting to go outside. Okay, so 1/4 teaspoon was the smallest increment of measurement that it gave me for these batches of colors that I'm trying to make. So I did some math, and what I really wanted to know is like how many 1/4 teaspoons will go into like a cup, 1/4 of a cup, stuff like that. So I just really needed to get the ratio. And the math that I did came out to I need 48 drops of taupe and 3 drops of the sunshine orange to get in the color range that I need. Let me lay these out before I start so that it'll be easy to grab as I go. So I made 10 little strips because I don't want this to be like a super dark color, but I do want it to be dark enough. And I figured within 10 strips, I should be able to get each and every one of these colors ready. So once I have that sort of ratio, what I'm doing by the 48-3 is eyedropper drops and just counting out the drops until I get the colors that I want. This part for me is what takes the longest. Okay, so that was 48. And already you can just see the barest, lightest tint. And then I need 3. Okay. Okay, and then so what I do is I just dip it in and I just try to see, you probably can't see it very well, but I can see just the lightest color of soft beige. So I'm going to repeat this process several times until I get about the color that I want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. That held just enough. 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, it's starting to get darker and darker here. What I want to know is how it's going to look on the fabric. So still not quite where I want it to be. So let's keep going. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. Let me do my 3, and then I'll let the dog back in. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it is getting darker visually, which is exactly what we want to see. Okay. It's getting a lot closer to what I want, but I do still want it darker. I do think I'm going to end up going to all 10 pieces for this one. Any comments yet? I do have the chat open. So if anybody says hi or if there are any questions, I'll try to catch it. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18, 19, 20. 30, 40, 48. And 3. Don't know how well you can see it, but it is getting closer to what I want. So I will just keep on going. Ten, 20, 30, 40, 48. 3. Now the water looks a lot darker than how it's actually going to show up. And the reason I do it on these Viva almost cloth-like paper towels is because it gives me the most realistic idea of what it's going to look like. Now, I do know that once I find the color that I'm happy with, I need to then double that color so that it is as bright as I want, because once I rinse it out at the end, it sort of fades almost 50%. That was my experience from the last time. Okay, so continuing. Ten. 20. 30. 40. 48. So here's the next one. As it's sort of laid out on my counter and I can see that gradually the darkening of the colors, it's kind of cool, but you can't really see that as well. Okay. 10. 20. 30. 40. 48. 3. That is one more shade darker. I'm going to do this one more shade darker, and then I'll be happy with this color, and then I'll double it to make it the color that I want. Okay. Ten. 20. 30. 40. 48. Okay. That really is the color that I want. I don't know how well you can see that, but that is the color that I want for this. So now I need to double this, which is 384 drops of the taupe and 24 drops of the tangerine orange. So this is going to take me a minute to count this all out. So just bear with me, and then this color will be ready, and I'll move on to the next color. Actually, I can probably start doing some drops of this now and let it soak in while I'm mixing up the next color too. Okay. Ten. 20. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. 100. 110. 120. 130. 140. 150. 160. 170. 80. 180. 190. 200. 210. 220. 230. 240. 250. 260. 270. 280. 290. 300. 310. 20. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. 384. Okay, and then 24. 10. 20. 4. Okay. And then so it's going to be much darker. So I can go ahead and start doing some random drips of this now. Just take a little spoonful. Dripping around. Sort of go back over the spots that I tripped, making sure that it goes all the way through the fabric and down. Okay, and I'll set this off to the side for now. So here's how it looks so far with the soft beige. Sprinkled all over. Oh, too much, just drop some. That's okay. Okay. That's okay. Okay, so the next color is, let's do the Desert Sandstone next because the Cocoa Mocha has the powder, and I'm going to do that one last. So let me pull up this color on my phone again. Desert Sandstone. Okay, so it's going to be just like that all over again, but with Desert Sandstone. So let me lay these out. And I need Camel and the Tangerine. So I don't need Sunshine Orange anymore, so that can go off to the side. I do still need the dark brown, and I do still need the taupe again later. No, Camel is what I need again later, so I don't need the taupe anymore either. Now, when I have these eyedroppers that I had left over from a previous craft that I used to do when I was making bath and body products. I would make some handmade soaps, and I would make some perfumes and like some lotions and stuff. So like I don't do that anymore, but I have all these eyedroppers left over. When I'm done, I'm just literally going to put the lid on and leave the eyedropper inside. So this is ready for the next time I need to dye something, because I don't need these eyedroppers for anything else. Okay, so this one is a cup of water, and we're going for Desert Sandstone. And this one is 36 drops of Camel and 12 drops of Tangerine. So that is my ratios this time. It's interesting how dark these are. Like the taupe color almost had like a blue quality to it. Okay. $10. 20. 30. 36. And then 12. 12. Okay. All right, so let's let's check out this first color. That's already a much darker color than what the soft beige started out with. I might not need to do nearly as many as of these. Okay, next is, I need 36 more camel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20. 30. 36. And then 12. Okay, so the next strip. Oh yeah, that's definitely getting a lot browner. It's leaning a little more orange. It's leaning a little bit more oranger brown than the other one, which is fine. I'm very curious when those two mix together because in the soft beige, I use the sunshine orange. And in this camel one, I'm using the tangerine. I wonder if the two oranges in that will be more of a fiery or, a more reddish orange. I just wonder that because when I was doing the dyes for the Teresa Wensler, I was going with three main colors. It was red, yellow, and like a smoky charcoal gray kind of color. And in mixing up the red, there was some orange in it. And so when the yellow and the red came together, the orange pulled out more and it ended up being more brown than orange, the orange color that I was thinking of in my head, thinking that they would mix. And then the same thing happened with the smoky gray color. There was a green mixed in to make that smoky gray color. So when that yellow hit the gray, it pulled out the green shades in that one. So I'm curious how these oranges are going to react with each other and with some of the other colors. So, all right, so camel, 36 more. 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30, 6. Trying to decide how much darker I want to go with this one. So that one's definitely more of the orange or brown. Actually, I think that's good. So I'm just going to double this one. No, I'm going to do one more round and then I'll double that one. One more round and then I'll double this one and then this one will be fine. Okay. $10. 20. 30. 6. Oh yeah, that's right where I want to be. So I'm going to go ahead and double this color. So that's 144 camel and 48 tangerine. I'm going to do a little bit less of the tangerine as I'm doubling it because it's a little orange heavy. So I want it to be a little bit more of the camel heavy. 10. 20. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. 100. 110. 120. 130. 140. 144. Okay. I do want to see where this is. Actually, I'll just leave it at that. So I doubled the camel and left the tangerine where it was. So it's a little more brown and a little less orange. I don't know if you can see the difference between those two. Okay. And do the same thing. I'll just drop some of this other color randomly around. Just sort of going over some of the same spots, making sure it's nice and soaked through. And I'm sort of poking it with my spoon. So, see if I can do this without tipping it this time. Here's how it's looking so far. I can see the difference in the colors, like here and here. All right, so I can get rid of, I need camel, I need dark brown, and the cocoa brown. Okay, that's going to be fun because I have an emulsion blender and I'm going to try to mix it with the emulsion blender with the powder. All right, so, okay, so it's camel, dark brown, powder. Let me go ahead and open up the box of powder because I forgot to do that ahead of time. Now, I've never worked with the powder dyes, but I do know that I really need to make sure that the powder gets mixed in. Oh, really? Okay, so So let's see if I can carefully cut this so that I will be able to reuse it again some other time. Okay. Now I do have 1/8 teaspoon. I used this when I was making candles and wax melt and perfumes. I would use this teaspoon to scoop the mica. So there's a little bit of shiny mica residue powder. I tried to get off as much as I could, but I figured it's one powder craft and another. So I'll just, with this cocoa brown, I'll be doing it in 1/8 teaspoon increments, since that was the smallest amount. But between the 1/8 teaspoons, I will use the emulsion blender and quickly blend it. Now, before I do this, I might need to put this into a different container. I just want to see if it's going to make a mess or not. Okay, that will actually work pretty good, I think. So I'm not going to make a giant mess, so yay. All right, so this color is called Cocoa Mocha, and my ratio is 96 drops camel, 12 drops dark brown, and if I were doing drops of cocoa brown, it would be 6 drops of cocoa brown. But I'm going to do it 1/8 of a teaspoon at a time. That way I can sort of control if it's dark enough or if it's too dark. I did all this math. So this notebook here like has all of my numbers and stuff written on it. Okay, so this one I do want to be on the darker end. Like each of the 3 browns were just supposed to gradually get darker as I went. And let me pull this up on my phone so I can. Okay, so it's supposed to be like this, but I'm going to see where I like it on the dark scale as I'm doing it. Okay. So 96 drops of camel. Hopefully this will be like ready within like 2 to 3 mixings. 1, 2. 10. 20. 30. 40. 50. 59. 60. 70. 80. 90. 96. And then 12. And then the 1/4 teaspoon of the really dark brown. Do the blender and keep the cord out of the way. It's getting kind of frothy like a cappuccino. Okay, so let's see where we are. Ooh, that's a really nice chocolate brown. I would say like 2 more of these is where I probably want to go. So let's do that again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. 20. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. 96. And 12. Okay, so I want to see. Right, see, I got dye on my gloves already, all over this one, since I'm left-handed. Yeah, I don't think I need to add more of the powder. I like where that's headed. One more. Actually, yeah, one more. And then I'll just double this. So that was 192 and 24. And then I'll see what that looks like and then maybe add more powder. Ten. 20. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. 100. 110. 20. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. And 80. 190, 192, and then 24. Four. Got dye all over my fingers. Really got done. Okay, so let me see what it's like, and then I'll decide if I want to add more of the powder. No, I like that. I'm going to go with that one. So I'm not going to add any more powder. I'm going to bring this back over. And then all the other areas I'm going to do with this. So I'm just filling in what I can see. A lot of the white. Going along the edges. Making sure. Getting in nooks and crannies. Or trying to. Okay. So that, for the most part, looks good to me. Well, sort of. Let me grab a little bit of this one. Just sort of filling in spots that I don't think I necessarily need the darkest colors. And just sort of filling it up. Okay, so I like that, how it looks on the top. I'm going to sort of squish it down a little. And it's probably pretty good on the bottom that I can see. Okay, so I'm going to set a timer and wait for 30 minutes. And that is about the time that it takes for the dye to set in the fabric. And then I'm going to rinse it out. So that's really it. That's my process of dyeing. This is, I mean, how it turns out is how it's going to turn out. I will post a picture in the post section after it is already finished, or after the time is up. After I rinse it out, I am actually going to throw it in my dryer on delicate for 5 to 10-ish minutes. And then it's still going to be a little bit damp, but mostly dry. And then I'm going to iron it. And that's when I'll see how it looks. So when it's done, I'll post a picture in the post section. I'll also post this on my Instagram, and I'll probably also post it on Reddit. My Instagram is Peculiar Pisces, and my Reddit is not that. It's P.O. Jupiter on Reddit. So you'll be able to see the finished product all 3 places. And I really can't wait until January to start this, because from what I can see, these colors are going to show up pretty good against this fabric. So that is my dyeing video. So I hope that anybody that joined me live enjoyed it, and anybody catching it on replay, I hope that this was informative for you at the very least. So that is it. And I will see everybody in January when I come back.